All right, well, I think we have our first match if you want to join up on EU2.
Already there, Sonny boy.
All right.
All right, I should
Now
be
we're
ready
just
as
waiting on
well.
our
Should
producer.
be. So let's go ahead
Mind
and
you,
get
Har.
this rolling. Yeah, I should be
there's
all set here.
People in the chat saying tag, 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 and tag have definitely got a big potential as well. Basically, 660's little brothers, I believe.
Yeah.
And they play together an awful lot. And yeah, like it's one of those teams which PDG and Tag were both right on the edge of actually being allowed into the proving grounds. It was like, we know they're really good. And there are reasons why they've been placed at opposite ends of the brackets for obvious reasons. But yeah, I think maybe PDG versus Tag. But I wouldn't put anything past an upset, especially when we're seeing this meta shift so often now. We've seen the inclusion of Rhino plays and all that kind of stuff. So I think the strat book is firmly opened, and we'll see what happens.
All right, I'm just joining this server now. Who are we joining? I had my mind other
We're
places.
taking a look at v56 versus Run and Pack.
Awesome.
This would be a good match,
cool.
actually. Run and Pack was one of the teams that kind of had us turning our heads in the last cup. And looking forward to seeing them. And again, I think they are from North America, Run and Pack are. So we will be seeing an NA versus EU match to kick things off. We are on an EU server, which is, I have not seen that before when North American players are playing, but alright, let's do it.
Yeah, so for those of you wondering, the tag for Run and Pack is indeed just a plus sign. So it's a nice nod to some older ET clans that, you know, like paramedics and all those guys. You know, it's a help symbol, because we're allowed to use that now. There was a time in gaming where, like, the Red Cross really didn't want games to be using, like, the little plus sign for health packs, and so there was all sorts of just lame Yeah, no, this was a real thing from, like, 02 to, like, maybe 09 or something. And so there's a lot of games in that period that just used alternative symbols for health or just stopped using stuff like that altogether. But I don't think anybody gives a shit anymore.
No, I suppose there was a time though when games were considered definitely like fantasy, and any like homage to the real world used to get met with a little bit of controversy. But I think that's all changed now. We accept that it is literally fantasy, and there's no reason in actually breaking away from any of those real life things. I think this is live. You think this is live, guys?
Yes, we are. Oh, man. Already, we're into our first round here. We're going to be playing on Bridge. We're going to have v56 versus Run and Pack. This is going to be good stuff.
v56 on the Jekyll's team. Oh, there we go. See, look, I'm trying to get it in straight away. And we're actually looking like we're going to see a fairly traditional 5-man onto the bridge push. We're probably going to see a grenade go out to red, and then maybe a drop down, but on the defenders team, we've got a fairly traditional setup, except we've got the Rhino in the opposite corner where you would normally see a turret. And we've got all the attackers now on the bridge. Spam's coming out. First player drops, second player drops. They're going towards that red van. Getting taken down, though.
Wow, I'm really surprised to see that initial airstrike getting 2 kills right off the bat, so boding well for the attacking team here at v56. But it's a firefight, it's an all-out brawl in the streets here. It's rather even, so the build, it looks like the build is beginning, but it's happening real slow, like, it's no engineer on that. But it is happening, so that's a great start for v56.
A lot of damage coming from that Rhino as well. He's picking a pretty tight spot, but he's going to be taken on down eventually, and Gibb or won't be able to get him back up as well. We've got 2 players left alive on v56, but no engineers in sight, as they're able to take a little bit of damage and take over the back alley at least a little bit, with only 2 guys back there. This rush is going to be nasty. I'm watching Anger right now, seeing if his grenade gets any love. Nothing at all, and he might catch a fairly mid-range spot, but my god, his survivability is just insane. Taking a look back over here at Panda, he's stuck back in, and on the EV, has it mostly repaired. This could be the first objective going to v56 in a very decent amount of time.
That is the first time I have seen like a free spawn momentum on this map actually stay in place. They just managed to keep enough harass on the defenders as the attackers that it was able to reinforce each time that they got wiped. And there we go, we saw the EV go up in almost perfect time. I mean, sure, they could have gone on the first spawn, but still, it was the first attack. Congratulations to v56 on that. And now they're pushing towards the generator room. Looks like they've already pushed past, and they're going to try and spawn lock the defending team to prevent that from getting rebuilt. And we've actually got Sparks walking with the EV now, so it's all down to the defenders to try and break through this, but it's not looking good. There's only one player left, and the best on 11-second spawns.
Somebody is escorting the EV, right? I mean, they have pushed way up here, and I love this aggression. It's really important to get into the generator room as soon as possible, as soon as the EV's moving. But man, this is just this is way beyond the pale.
We've actually never seen a play like this before. We've seen it attempted, but never to actually pulled off and actually managed to hold the defenders into the spawn on the first rotate, and they're straight past the barricade. There's not even been a single chip of damage on this EV, really, and the aggression is going to continue.
All right, this is complete domination. I'm a little bit disappointed to see Run and Pack falling so quickly here. V56 has played so aggressively, almost to a fault, you might say, but they've just executed perfectly, and Run and Pack have no answer at this point. Even the airstrike, way off the mark.
They even stopped the EV to make sure that wasn't going to happen. I'll tell you one thing, though. From my experience, this is not really a true reflection of these teams' skills. I think that v56 has managed to get an awful lot off that initial momentum, and they've actually managed to keep it running. Wow, we're looking at only a few minutes and the EV is going to be parked.
And this is wonderful. Panda right now is already set for the doors to be blown and for them to make a push, maybe through the left alley. However, it looks like all of Run and Pack is holed up back there, and we're going to see a bit of damage go that way. Panda's going to get knocked down just as the doors get open. Watching Wrath right now, maybe going in the front door as everybody, again, is kind of secured over there.
Sparks really doing a job managing to keep that Fletcher alive. A couple of players are going to try and run through the front. It's all 5 of the attackers are up and they're actually running in. They're going for different sides of the building at the same time, and will these defenders be able to hold out? It looks like they're losing out on the simplest of gunfights.
Pincer maneuver here for V56 coming from 2 sides at once. The combo Fragger Medic is right in their front door at this point. Actually, surprised to see Dark Death brought back up. There you go. Finally, the soldier taken down here. The Fragger taken down, I should say.
That is a third full wipe.
Yeah, finally a breath of air, a moment to breathe here for the defending team.
Wow, yeah, this is the first time that that they've been able to get such a breath of air, and hopefully they'll be able to use it to set up a little bit. I like the aura placement here. We've got Fragger. We've also got Skyhammer as well, but we've got that all-important washout on Nader, which is so vital in this last objective.
Oof.
But looking from Sixers' point of view, I'm wondering where the rest of Run and Pack is. Nobody else was in the room, and it looks like it's been wiped out a little bit there. We've got Chew on this coming in here, trying to take down a few V56ers in the main room, but it's not going to happen, and I think it's already out the door, is it?
Yeah, V56 just cut through that defense like a hot knife through butter. It wasn't even contested. I mean, there was a little bit of a mistake from Dark Death on the defending team. As a grenade came in, he got himself caught up on them doors a little bit and actually managed to just instantly drop, which left the Fragger outside of the defense. They've started to try and regain some form of hold, but it doesn't look like it's going to work. But they're going down there with a triple kill with that grenade. I don't think there was many gives there, but it did get wiped up nonetheless. And we do know how long this objective can be held for, so with a little bit of luck and a little bit of more solid play, to be honest, they may be able to at least drag another few minutes out of the guys over on V56 now, these defenders.
This final objective, you called it. It can really drag on and on if the defense sets up, especially if there's a good aura station, perhaps some Rhino play. We're not really seeing that too much from the defenders at this point. I mean, I haven't really seen an aura station in a really good spot yet at all. So maybe they need to go back to the drawing board a little bit. And Dark Death again with a triple. Man, this guy pulled 2 triples in about a minute there.
Yeah, he's definitely managed to hold this objective off for a little while. What I would say right now is, what we're noticing from V56 is that they're actually playing a very kind of medic ball kind of playstyle. They're running in 5 players on one side for the last couple of spawns, and it's really working. It's allowing them to really cut through that defense, because what we're seeing from the defenders is just this constant one person running against all 5 and then getting taken out. It's you need to find positions and stick to them. I mean, Dark Death is managing to pull some miracles out with that grenade, but you can't rely on that every single time to actually save you, and there's going to be some troubles now.
Oh, this is looking good.
That's
V56, almost impossible to stop this at this point. I mean, the spawn wave is coming, so they will clash outside the building, but do they have even
There's
enough
no
time? Here comes
Sixers.
Oh.
Sixers does it for his team, but it's
slow it
still
down for
only
a
a
few seconds at
temporary.
least.
Yeah, only a few more seconds here. Sixers take it down, and I think that's going to be it.
Yeah, that's the wave, and nobody's alive to take care of it.
See, we were just mentioning how much of a dominant time that was, and to be honest, Bridge is a very difficult map, and 7 minutes and 19 seconds is by no means a bad time. But we have seen it done faster, so I wouldn't put Run and Pack out of the kind of running right now. But let's be honest, v56, like in the fights, you can see from the kill-death ratios and the scores, it was almost no contest. Fingers crossed that we do see Run and Pack be able to almost emulate the same kind of success on the attacking side. But that was a brutal attack from v56. I've never seen such like offensive play on Bridge. Let it like work as well.
Yeah, I was happy to see them push forward to the generator room, but going past that, yeah, I was kind of taken aback. They just pushed way up, which always means that you have, you know, one less guy in the firefights because somebody's got to escort the EV. But again, we're gonna have to see how Run and Pack is able to hopefully mirror the performance from v56.
With 7 minutes, you know, it takes so long to just push that EV across or down the road that you got to imagine if they're not able to build the EV up in the first 3 or 4 minutes, which, by the way, is a totally reasonable time.
Yeah.
If they're not able to do that, then they're going to be in a really tough spot. So this first objective, crucially important. Let's see how it unfolds here. Sixers trying to get some cheeky shots straight through the middle with that Sparks gun. You can't get an insta-kill with the headshots with the fully charged up Sparks gun, so that's kind of interesting. Just kind of being pestering, being annoying. And here they come, over the top, through the middle. The turret is dropped down as well, but let's see if the nade can come here from Dark Death. Dark Death with the nades, always making it happen for his team. Will it happen again? It does not look like it, as he's the only one alive.
Holy crap.
And almost well, it was a complete wipe, and 10 seconds left on the clock.
That is a long wipe.
Yeah, the execution didn't seem too bad at first, but the kills just never came out. I mean, the timing was on point, but unless you can actually aim for those heads and get those dings and actually put players out, it's not really going to make much of a difference. I mean, if they can work on that timing and just keep it as it was in that last push and get a little bit lucky, maybe with one of them grenades like you mentioned, then maybe they've got a chance here. But that was a fairly clean wipe from the guys over at v56.
And it looks like Chu on this is trying, as that bushwhacker, to crawl in through the cubby hole, looking for some intel from the rest of his team as far as what point is safe. And it doesn't look like anything's safe right now. We have a huge drop from the office right now, but it looks like he's going to open himself up to an easy flank and go down hard. And he's going to be the first one gibbed. So no engineer right now. And what the heck is happening on the other side here? We've got Ben just chewing up everybody in the streets, which is ballsy, but ultimately it doesn't really give him all that much.
That did look somewhat promising for Run and Pack, but Dirty Bomb is a pretty unforgiving game. Even if you can get a couple kills and it looks good and a couple of your guys are alive, if you're not able to really push in and start getting the objective done, you're just going to have to wait to the next spawn wave, and that's what we saw right there. And yet again, this next spawn wave completely shut down. So Run and Pack, here comes the next spawn wave, so let's see if they can group up and make it happen here. Don't push too far, guys. Stay on the bridge, please. I think they need to look for an early pick here, an early kill to open this up, because they just have not been winning in these on these even fights. So let's see if they can do it here. The nades are probably how it's going to happen, but a kind of a misfire there for Dark Death. And pushing over the bridge again, but already down. Looks like already down 4 to 5 here. Oh no, there are some nice revives, so making it happen now, 5 to 4. Let's see what happens here.
Those nades are doing a very good job of forcing everybody to kind of cluster around that aura station. That's where, Fragger could really do some good work. Or, if somebody switched over to Stoker, that would be handy too.
Oh yeah, that would be really handy.
Pro tip.
They also might get banned.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I'm actually spectating from Dark Death on that last spawn, and he was in position, but just the way he was moving around, it looks like he's a little bit disheartened right now. He doesn't really know what he needs to be able to do to actually make this work. He's just looking into, the open. And nade's getting cooked up now. Can he get the guy on the van? No, he can't. That's going to be another 16 seconds till the next nade. And his medic's gone down. He's got to consider trying to pick him up, but he decides to run down the stairs. One player down, though. It's not looking promising. going for picks, but he's getting picked more than what he can physically get damage down range. And
ooh. And here they come into the office building, putting a lot of pressure on him as well. He's going to be kind of tied up here with some of these small range fights. Fortunately, he's got some soft bones packs around him, and he's down, but not quite revived. It's only soft bones left alive in there.
yeah, but did you see what
Gonna
happened?
get knocked on down. Yeah.
He got revived into a long spawn. He was just about to be able to tap to spawn, and that Stillborn just tapped him
Yeah.
out and still got long spawn himself.
Always a
Still
cause
even
for
down.
some cursing on the TeamSpeak channel.
Oh, I can completely imagine.
Yeah.
Now, we are actually reaching the point where this is... we're wondering if it's actually going to be possible. I think it still technically is. But without a single pip of repair on that EV yet, not even from just being able to run in, this has been a very dominant show from the guys over at v56, and I can't imagine what the second map's going to be like. I'm wondering if there's going to be a map which is any better. What do you guys think? Do you think there's a map which could come out which may...
Well, I know what map it's going to be, but I'll let you have your prediction first.
Alright, so are these maps set?
I think so, yeah.
Spidey, please. Spidey, please.
These guys are just so well organized that they know what the finals are going to be before anybody else does.
Yeah,
It's
they're
not
the organized
fixed.
ones.
We're not
we're
saying
not
it's
the
fixed,
organized ones.
guys. Like, just because you know who the finals are doesn't mean it's fixed.
You know what? Just to answer your question, I'd like to see. I think that they might have a better chance on a map like Chapel, and the reason I think that is because Sixers has been someone who always really impressed me with the Sparks play, and Sparks is most powerful on these more open maps. I mean, we also, I guess you could say Dark Death is also one of the key players for the team with those clutch nades as well. So I don't know. It depends. It really does.
Well, it's a good call because Chapel is indeed the next map.
All right.
Hey!
Yeah.
And it looks like they're also going to be playing on an East Coast server, so maybe the ping differences are
Switching
going
it
to
up.
swap around. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, if you look at the ping, it's actually not too bad. Not a single player on Run and Pack is above 135 ping. Most
On
of them are
technical
right around
levels, I
100.
agree. I totally agree that they're not that
Yeah.
bad, but I'm sure if you asked Run and Pack right now, they'd say something else.
It's all pink. It's all pink. We had it. It's pink.
Fair and balanced. We do want to emulate Fox News and make it happen here.
Yeah. Because we did kind of note that, a lot of it comes down to these firefights, and well, unfortunately, if you're playing a medic like Sparks, you're going to go down pretty quickly.
Yeah. Almost instantly. Like a couple of headshots from almost any weapon, and you're going to actually hit that deck. So, I suppose that you need to be careful when peeking. And I have to agree, ping can make a small difference there. So, we'll see what it's like on a East Coast server. But I have to say, just like tactics alone, like v56 is still looking very dominant. 45 seconds left. We do know who's taking this map now, 100%. But I wasn't expecting it to look this one-sided on this first map. And I'm actually like, I still don't want to say that it's going to be the same in the next map. I don't believe that. I mean, the guys over on Run and Pack have got some like really good talent. There's some really well-known players there, and we know that they can play to a top level. So
Yeah, I believe I saw them mentioning on a Reddit thread somewhere that they are old ET players, and whenever you have that breadth of experience in this genre, you expect good things. So yeah, I'm with you. I really hope that they can pull it together. We'll find out.
But there we have it. Looks like Bruges is going to be going fairly handily with an excellent time over to v56. Now, of course, we're going to be swapping servers, swapping relative ping advantages, and we're going to have to see how Run and Pack does on Chapel.
All right, moving the
Interesting.
servers over. Gotta love this, man. These tournaments are just so well run. I love it.
Hey, these guys are the best.
like people think that our tournaments are run by people and admins. They're not. They're run by spreadsheets. Like, it's all spreadsheets.
Yeah,
Our
tell that to the guy who's
spreadsheets
running the
have got
spreadsheet, though. Yeah. If spreadsheets
Save
were
it.
autonomous, I'd be a much happier person.
That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
I,
mean,
for one, would welcome our spreadsheet overlords.
I still don't know how to use Excel. I'm ashamed to admit it. I don't. I never did it ever. Like, I know that you can put some math formula somewhere and it does something, but that's about my knowledge of Excel.
Some pretty heavy-hitting confession time here.
I don't know how to indent on Word either.
Oh, God.
Huh? Oh boy.
Microsoft Office, why have I failed you? I apologize.
Alright guys, so right now if you're joining us, welcome to the DB Nation Stage 2. It's the final stage. There's only 2 stages. Some people have been tweeting like this is Stage 1. I have no idea where they're getting that from. But this is the Proving Ground, seeing who the best up-and-comers are in Dirty Bomb, a free-to-play shooter from Splash Damage, the makers of Enemy Territory Quake Wars, and some other game.
I feel like we've so killed that joke.
Yeah, I know. I just realized at that point, it was that moment that I realized, okay, it's probably done. But I was wondering today, I was kind of mulling over my coffee going, you know, what was worse, Brink or Tribes Ascend?
Whoa.
Yeah, just morning, thoughts.
Are you trying to get drama going? Like...
Gio's just walking around the building kicking developers in the shins right now.
Oh, man. I like Tribes Ascend, dude.
I did too. I like Brink.
I like that game too. I did.
Got his metal toe caps on, he's just booting Blizzard in the shins. Why not to launch a game?
Yeah, I'm getting in the server right now.
Oh, Jahar. Actually, wait. You know what you should have done the comparison is Brink or Wolfenstein, like the new.
The one that didn't even launch correctly.
What was that even called?
Wolfenstein 2?
No. It was
Wolfenstein.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, it was just called Wolfenstein, I think.
Yeah, it was. It was just the Raven Wolfenstein.
Man, that was bad.
I did play the single player though, and it's obvious that the game had a lot of merits to it. It was obvious that it had been like cut and chopped, and like sections had been removed from the game. But what was there was actually pretty good. I can't speak to the multiplayer. Nope. That's not even on the same level. That was just a complete failure to launch. I don't think there was even any real attempt there.
I actually really enjoyed the single player. I have to admit.
Yeah. It was. I enjoyed what it was, but I could see that it had obviously been meant to be something bigger than what it was.
Yeah.
There are a lot of awkward parts where you're like shooting Nazis out in the streets, and then you go in a bar and you're supposed to be all like quiet and like, pretend you're a Nazi. But I was just shooting them like right outside the door. It was a lot of just awkward stuff like that.
Nothing was more awkward than the fact that the servers were all abandoned about a week after the game came out. Whew.
Did it take that long? All right.
Yeah, it was about that much time. Yeah. Anyway, we have a match to cast for you here. We're moving over to Chapel. It does look like we're gonna see Run and Pack attacking first here. And this is the map I wanted to see. I want to see Sixers shine. I really do. We've seen him with some amazing Sparks play in the past, and I think we're going to see it again here. This is certainly a good map for it. Long-range revives for the win. And it looks like we are just waiting for one more person to join up on the Run and Pack team, and we'll get started as quickly as we can here. So thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for spending your morning with us. We appreciate it.
I feel like I need to ask something now, because I'm not a very experienced caster. I'm still quite new. I started off with Dirty Bomb. I've only done a few of the events. And I was wondering, we know that Splash Damage have basically, and Nexon have been talking about the lore of the game. We're going to have the Jackals versus the CDA on attackers and defenders. And I was wondering, as a best caster's practice, does that mean that we start calling the attackers Jackals and the defenders CDA? Because I think that's a little bit confusing for people that don't know the game, right?
Yeah, I don't.
I mean,
because will it not be just like the Jackals are attacking as always?
Whoa! Look at Wrath.
No, but I still don't understand how that works, because do you just like change your allegiance halfway through the match?
Yeah.
Like, are you just Jackals for like half of the match, and then you
My
just change your clothes? And if skins are tied to like allegiances, do you just change skins halfway through the match?
Oh, that's interesting. But like, I'm not taking the mic. I actually think that lore is always really good in games. Like, I think it's really important.
There's this core things I don't understand.
I'm literally wondering, like, do we have to change what we call them if they are the team names?
I know Fluffy Gimp is watching somewhere out there. Rich, tell us, come on.
No, if you could call, things like CT&T, and people will get used to it because the game's been around for 15 years. I think people could get used to use Jackals and whatever the other team is.
Oh yeah, CDA. I think that makes a lot of sense, actually, doesn't it? Like,
and it makes the voice binds that much better. I mean, who can forget? For the Macron, For the freedom of Earth!
In Enemy Territory Quake Wars, wasn't it team names rather than
Yeah,
attackers
you're
and
right.
defenders? Or did you still refer to them as attackers and defenders, or did you say the I can't pronounce it, so I'm not going to.
Strog and
Yeah, it was a continuation from Quake 2. So the GDF and the Strog. Yeah, I still got those T-shirts.
GDF.
Yeah. By the way, Splash Damage. I'm not saying that I have a voice acting resume, but I could whip one up in Word. I'm sure Pixel Twitch can help me.
As long as you don't want it formatted. Anyway.
Here we go, guys.
All right, let's see. Will the Americans show their worth here, or will it be another one-sided match? We're going to find out here on Chapel in the DB Nation Proving Grounds Cup. This is the second stage. We did play the first stage a couple of weeks ago. So this is the top 8 from both North America and Europe. Of course, Run It Pack on attack, and they are the North American team. Let's see if they can do it. It looks like v56 are all up on the bridge. It's an interesting posture. It almost feels like someone could have started the build already if they were just kind of holding back, and it looks like that's happening. 2 on this, jumps in, but Aaron does come from the side, so the flank is good, and that build is shut down.
We're actually seeing a really interesting setup. Because we're actually seeing the defenders roll with both a Aura and a Sparks, because they're going for this very heavy kind of left-handed push next to the bell tower. While just basically holding that area. Well, there was at first, I think that was the plan. It seems to have fallen apart now, and they're just all spread out across the bridge. But the EV is being repaired right now. The engineer does get taken out, though, and looks like we're going for a very aggressive defense.
Wow. Yeah, I think we're just seeing a simple case of v56 is shooting better.
Yes.
They're hitting the headshots more, and one-on-ones it just seems to be going their way time and time again. So I don't know what we got to see from Run and Pack, but I think it's really honestly got to be amazing team play. Otherwise, they're going to be down and out.
What we need to see from Run and Pack right now is on the next spawn. First off, the Sparks better not get long spawn, or he does manage to kill out or die. But we need to see these guys not go for the repair now. We need to see them fight back and push the defenders back as far as possible. Then maybe go, oh, but the Sparks get taken out by 2 really well placed by Panda.
Well, we finally got that Fletcher on the Eevee a little bit, and it's about 2/3 up, but he's going to be laying there, and Gibbed as well. That's going to be a full team wipe with a full 5 seconds to spare. Oh, man. But yeah, you're right. This defense is just absolutely brutal right now, and it looks like they're crawling the line forward and making it even more difficult to get out of the spawn. Look at this, an airstrike on the spawn itself. We've got that Skyhammer moved way up, and he's ready to get the flank. Even as they're trying to creep up into the side corridor, it's not going to be an easy play. And man, Sawbones going down is the first one. Not a fun thing to have at all. We got the EV almost repaired there, almost had some sneaky play. We'll take one more of those to get past this objective, though.
So the attackers have actually cleared now. They should be able to finish this off with the Fragger. But that was a fairly decent hold of nearly 2.5 minutes on the first objective of Chapel. That's fairly impressive for any defending team.
But hey, we got the EV up. We're moving. We have a chance. North America might be able to do it here. Let's find out. Chew on this is the only guy sticking with the EV itself. Somehow able to survive for quite some time. Now the EV under the bridge, so in a spot where it might be a little bit more difficult to airstrike it. We do want to see it keep moving, though. This is a really crucial moment of every Chapel for the attacking team. You need to get this EV all the way around the corner, because if it gets stuck right at the corner that we're taking a look at right now, just ahead of the EV now, it can be so difficult to repair it up and keep it moving. So this next push is going to be important. EV still up, and it's going to stay that way as well. Like I said, it's not able to airstrike it effectively from this position. Let's see.
But it's going to be pretty tough to get it moving at this point. As you can see, they're already on the top of the staircase, making it very difficult for them to move out of the spawn. Oh, quick reaction to the martyrdom there. But it looks like Anger is going to be able to do a lot of damage from afar. Let's see if this nade gets him any love.
Oh,
Right,
so
but
close.
he's keeping their heads down. And yeah, you're right. Having this aura set up here makes this a very, very difficult brick to take down.
Yeah, because as you're running up that bell tower, you actually are able to shoot through these windows, but you can't get a downward angle. You can't take out that healing station without a really well-placed nade, which we did see come out, and as a result, the attackers did manage to actually clear that area, and the EV is slowly moving up towards this corner. And the defenders are looking like they're going to go for a setup at the end of the street. Normally we see defenders try and push out through the red house towards the MG, but that hasn't happened just yet. They're being very careful. EV's about to go down. It looks like they don't want to actually waste an airstrike on this because they could have finished it already. A couple more grenades and it will be stopped, but they've already allowed it to pass the critical area.
Yeah, this is good for Run Pack. They made it just past where they needed to, and actually they're trying to build it up again right away. Staying alive decently here. Sean, this doesn't want to die though. He wants to stay alive. Obviously, I mean, pulling a John Madden over here.
I don't know. There's always time for that. That's even better. All right, but we got Iran here ready and in a good position for some sky hamming. But it looks like the EV's already down. We've had a shutdown repair as well. And now we've got the Aura station set up here on the other end of the red room. And it looks like the top of the red room is going to be fairly well covered. I'm not sure who's inside defending the alleyway, though. Oh, nice.
Alright, Chuan is just running straight in, getting the repair. Is that really worth it, though? His team is not... Oh, they are pushing up through the red room, but that EV will be taken down straight again here. It's always kind of questionable. Do you want to build the EV just for the sake of building it? Sometimes it's better to make sure the Skyhammer is down or wait until they waste an airstrike. Because that EV, was brought up and brought right back down again.
Iran was hiding behind the sign the whole time. He was just biding his time, and he had it thrown out as soon as it was moving. And his angle even got him a free frag out of that. So, yeah, this is going to be another tough spot. And look at this. Iran's actually pushing up, looking to at least get some recon on the movements out of the spawn. But being Skyhammer, he's pretty meaty. He could do a fair amount of damage. Doesn't get any frags, though. And he only ends up hurting somebody who's got a medic right behind him. But he's got another 8 seconds. I mean, once you're Skyhammer and you've blown your airstrike, you've got a minute where you just, all right, I'm going to do some frags, do a little bit of damage.
This is looking good, actually. The snipes are coming in. Nice to see Vasily in play here. Long-range snipes are connecting here and there. And that was actually a really nice coordinated play for Run and Pack, showing signs of life here as they continue to push the EV forward. Sparks play attempting to come into be relevant here. And actually, I think this airstrike might be slightly off the mark. Oh no. Unfortunate for Run and Pack. EV is taken right down.
Yikes. It's only crawling forward here. Man, look at this. Wrath is just doing heavy damage at the front lines with Sparks. I mean, right in front of everybody. Doesn't care, however. Gonna be able to take down that Fletcher, trying to get some love on the EV, and all the fights over the red room right now. Explosives going everywhere, and it looks like Run and Pack is able to take over that room just barely, but man, Wrath once again with the long-range reviver, able to do a ton of damage, but yeah, just trying to do a little bit of plink damage on the EV itself, but there it is, it's moving.
All right.
Yes. Sometimes that's a question when you see a Spark start using an SMG to take down the EV. Are you really doing this to help your team, or are you purely doing this for points, son? Because we know that only one of them outcomes is going to be realistic. But no, we're actually seeing the defenders almost fully wiped. A couple of good grenades right now could actually hold this back for long enough to actually get that EV towards that pinnacle place where they need it to actually be.
Yeah, man, Dark Death was just so aggressive there. I don't know if I necessarily agree with.
I liked it. I just didn't like the fact that he was dividing his attention. If he had, held down mouse 1 on one head, he would have been able to get some real damage out of that. But as a result, well, you didn't end up doing too much good.
All right, and this is another tough spot to be caught in if you're the attackers. And you spawn pretty far away from that EV. So look at this nice coordinated play though. Everyone is coming up through the left-hand side of the map for the attackers. Sixers again distracting straight through the middle, and the build is beginning. However, Iran, as usual, I feel like he is the flanker for his team. He's just been flanking constantly. So he's trying to flank and trying to kill the engineer, but no dice as the EV continues to move forward. I'm a little surprised. It looks like almost slightly too passive for v56 here.
Oh, one player just jumps in there now. They're almost guaranteed to finish. It looks like they're going to get it anyway. And that was it was one way of doing it, right? It wasn't pretty, but it worked. And look at the times, though. Like, they might actually be able to get a couple of spawn frags and actually get the first one delivered instantly.
I want to see some nades. I want to see some airstrikes, something. Oh. Look how bunched up v56 are. And Kill's actually going both ways. Dark Death, is he going to be a hero for his team? Can he do it? There's one.
It's just fragger on fragger now. Anger's left alive, and he's got the pickup. He doesn't know where Anger is. He's going to be right behind him. And he's just biding time. He doesn't even really want to engage here. Yeah.
Uh-oh, Dark Death.
Anger played that perfectly.
Caught on the log.
He doesn't get any love out of that nade either.
Anger played that perfectly.
He really did. He needed to not engage and get into a fight. He just needed to deny that pickup.
Oh, Chuan, this has switched over to Kira. Will we see some lasers?
We're seeing one come in right now. He controls
so
that really
cool.
poorly.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, somebody walks right into it, though, so that's handy.
Yeah, yeah. Luckily for him, he didn't even need to control that well there, as the opponent just walked right into it.
I mean, this is one of the first places we really saw Kira come into her own, just by placing that laser right over the far side of the wall. On the defending side, you do have other places to exit from your spawn, but that is really the most critical one if you need to get on the rock immediately, and Kira can deny that for a very, very long time.
Anger's shown himself to be a really good fragger right now, but I've just watched him a couple of spawns in a row try to go for those spawn nades and just time them really off. So I wonder, like, with a little bit more practice, how strong is this v56 team going to be? I mean, we know they've got the fragging potential, but when you actually start to master these kind of the spawn nades and the timings and all these pushes, I think they're going to be unstoppable. They've played this really well up until now on this defense, and I wonder what they're going to be able to do on the attack.
Yeah, I didn't really want to harp on this too much when we were looking at the ping differences, but really v56 is just out-shooting everybody on run and pack here, and it's not just ping anymore. It's just coming down to having good focus fire, having good crossfire, having good angles. And holy crap, Wrath is just able to hit so many targets. So confident with that reviver gun.
He didn't manage to get the gib with that grenade, unfortunately.
We have seen a little bit of misplay for the run and pack. I would call out team so far on this final objective. You know, right now they're doing okay, but in previous attack attempts, they're not watching the spawn timer as closely as they need to. Especially on this objective, you just have to watch that thing constantly, like a hawk. Always keep an eye on the spawn timer. I mean, Chew on this, okay, thankfully goes down, but you know, just as an example, Chew on this could have been caught out if he survived 1 or 2 more seconds. Could have been caught out on a long spawn.
Long spawns really just kind of knock big chunks of time off your completion time, or as a defense, it can actually cost you a full objective. If you go for that long spawn and you make a mistake and you end up long spawned yourself, then it's such a painful position to find yourself in, because your team's basically a player down for the whole next push.
Oh, wow, the time has flown by. Only 3 minutes left. I didn't even notice. I need to be looking at the clock a little bit more, apparently.
Yeah, this is a very difficult objective to take down anyway. I mean, they didn't give themselves a whole lot of time with the time it took to get that second objective down, and this is going to need some real coordination out of run and pack to make really doable. Well, they've got
well, they have got
taken
the kills here,
Yeah.
but where is the objective? Where is it?
That's
It's back
a
at
very good
base.
question, actually.
Oh.
I think it is anyway. I can't see it anywhere.
We've got one grenade taken down, Iran, and that's a gib as well. It's going to be all about holding this rock long enough to get the objective. There, here it comes, here it comes.
Oh, here comes Kira. Dark Death is going to act as a meat shield here. Maybe
You don't see
effectively. Oh,
I don't think-
Kira, did she get it?
Yeah, she
She
got
got
one
it.
in. Yeah, we've got one
Wow.
in. We still have 2 minutes.
So
Wow.
still a chance here. Run a pack, holding strong, and they have complete control of the objective as well.
Oh.
That airstrike's bad.
Whose airstrike was that, actually?
That was a
Oh,
defending
here
one.
comes it's a full-on 5v5 fight here, right on the objective. Not able to plant it right away, and it looks like Run and Pack will have to start again.
Yeah, it was completely cleared, unfortunately, for the guys on the attack. Are they going to return it? I think they should do. It's in a very dangerous position. You lose this fight, you're almost guaranteed to actually lose the objective. But,
Yeah. I mean, on the attacking team, if you're able to take the rock, you have to be aware of the fact that you're not going to be able to hold it for, you know, an entire spawn or two. It's going to be very difficult to hold for any length of time. You're there to get in, get the objective delivered, and then get back out to safety.
Dark Death, this could be horrible. This could be a couple more long spawns here. Dark Death down. Join this somehow able to survive, and Dark Death gets revived from across the map, so this push continues on.
Oh man, but as the point guy, he's going to be taking all of the hate right now. I mean, I like Sixer's position here, but Wrath's reviver gun is just so much more capable than Sixer's at this point. I wish I could look at KDRs in mid-game just to look at Wrath's score at the moment. Because for Sparks, I mean, he's been doing an incredible amount of damage.
Let's take bets on that. There's 1 minute left. I reckon that he has got in this half 27 kills.
27, that's pretty specific, alright.
Yeah, you've got to be specific with your guesses. Sure. Otherwise,
Sure.
it's an estimate. I'm joking.
You know, I would have. I feel like the Kira has not been potent enough. I almost would have liked to see perhaps a Skyhammer, and a Kira. Screw it, do both. I mean, this final objective is
Sounds like a
is
party.
one of the few objectives where I would say artillery is a complete game changer. It can be a linchpin to a successful strategy.
Well, so
You
far,
make a very strong point.
Chew on this as that Kira player has been the objective runner, and it's very difficult to hold a box and control an orbital laser at the same time.
I would almost argue on this objective that on the attack, we don't see the medics actually doing all that much because it's a constant fight around that rock area. Maybe what we will see teams do in future is decide to go full attack heavy. Maybe a Skyhammer, an Artie, a Kira, a Nada, and maybe a Sparks. Like, you don't really need much else. You don't need your ammo because you're not really going to be doing sustained pushes. Your Fraggler is always really useful with the nades, but you only get the one nade now since the recent changes. I don't know, maybe you're right. Maybe extreme explosives all over the point would be a better way of doing it.
Well, you're the pro, Pixel. You tell me.
I'm always one that really wants to see the meta constantly shift and change and just perfect every single area and every single attack as possible. But we are swapping the sides over now. So we did see Run and Pack manage to get to the final objective and deliver one of those. So all we need to do now is see v56 complete the map completely to win 100%. Or if they only manage to match Run and Packs or not even get as far, then Run and Pack will be taking this one.
And just as a side note, it looks like execution mode has been confirmed for the next patch. Disrupt the containment shield in execution mode coming in the containment war update. Look at that.
The containment war. Ooh. That sounds lore-filled.
Yeah. Tasty lore. And it looks like the build is probably going to begin here. Sixers is coming from the back, actually switching over to Aura here, but will get taken down in short time. So this objective is being built straight on up, and our worst fears may be true, folks.
The timing's back.
The
timing's back.
Yeah, this is looking one-sided.
Oh, wow. We're going to see another push-up like we did on Bridge.
It looks like we are.
I mean, look at this confidence just being able to know, all right, my Keck is topper than yours.
my Keck is better. I love my Keck.
Oh, yeah. Keck for life. Every time there's a patch change, I immediately scroll down to the Keck changes. Get so nervous. But
this attacking team right now is pushed so far forward, but it doesn't look like they're actually doing this for kills, right? They know that they're in a disadvantaged position up here, but they can just slow them down enough and just keep the TV rolling. I mean, it's almost a non-contest right now.
That airstrike is good.
I love having Sparks on the EV escort. I mean, Sparks is a perfect class to have there. She can still revive from a distance and still do some damage. Doesn't have a whole lot of health, but she can keep herself behind it for quite a long time.
Oh, nice Nader nades coming in, disrupting things, but Aaron will continue to build. Dark Death has something to say about that, though. No more engineers alive for the attacking team, so if they build, it will be a slow one. But Run and Pack are not really in a good position to stop the build. Wrath is just going to get this going, slow as it may be. No contention here.
It's actually a really interesting match to watch, because every time that we see v56 go towards an attack, we see them like approach the attack as one big ball of players. And then as soon as they get towards positions, they just fan out and just manage to crossfire everybody, even in a direct fight. And
can someone explain how Anger is still alive right now? Were you guys watching that? There was 3 opponents right around him, and he was just getting kills and staying alive.
Everybody was focused on Wrath, or
What
at
the
least
hell?
they're trying to.
That was wacky. Airstrike is not good.
It may work because they never continue pushing it. It's still a pip of health left, but a few well-placed clips should be able to finish this off.
Alright, so Run and Pack has fought back. They have stopped the EV, and they have gotten a clean wipe. Let's see how they set up here. The spawn wave is pretty close to the EV, though, for the attacking
This
team.
is good,
so
though. I
they're
mean,
right back in it.
Panda tried to hide out and avoid that long spawn, but was caught with his pants down. Looks like they're going to be short a nader for this push, so we're going to have to see if they can survive or get any real progress having a player down. But it looks like they've been able to fend off the entire opposing team. They're still back up here. They're still going to be a very slow repair, but man, looking at these positions, they are ready to move forward.
All right. Well, the EV is moving forward. It's going to be tough to stop it now as well. Let's take a look. It's got to be the Skyhammer. Chew on this. Might be down and out. He's dead. So this EV is almost certainly going through. Yeah, and that's a great time. That is an excellent time to get that EV planted. Yeah.
11 minutes to just manage to get 1 or 2 containers is looking fairly good for v56 right now. Especially with all the players down, only for another couple of seconds though, but it's going to allow them to get into a fairly decent position. Not even going to be able to go for any spawn kills. It doesn't look likely, unfortunately. Seeing the defenders spread around that rock. We're seeing an airstrike come in. Fairly bad airstrike. I hope that never went off, otherwise it's been wasted. I don't think it did.
Yeah, I didn't see
But
any.
just look at this. They're just fragging at such a more higher rate, than the defending team here.
Yeah,
v56 showing
was
their utter
surprising.
dominance at this point. First of 2 objectives have been planted, and that's pretty much game right there.
Yeah, because they've got 10.5 minutes to get the final one, and if they're able to just walk in like that, they're saying GG. I mean, that isn't the current rule set that we are running, but if that's what they want to do, that's fair enough.
Yep. I agree with that. I mean, I think that's how it should be. But
Well, I disagree with your fish sticks.
good.
Wow. I mean, that airstrike didn't get any frags, but look, it kept them back, pushed over the wall for a little bit longer. Oh man, these nades coming out though are going to be clearing the rock up quite a bit, but it looks like that Sparks is still going to be there. No Gibbs, so everybody's going to be back up on the rock. Just need to get the objective in, and there it is.
Very impressive
All right.
play from v56 on both maps. They're actually looking fairly promising. I mean, Running Pack aren't a bad team whatsoever, so I have to admit, like, PDG versus v56 is probably going to be an interesting match, because I was personally expecting it to be PDG versus Tag towards the finals, but that was so strong. Like, was there many mistakes from v56 at all?
Hard to say. I mean, we sorry to sound like a broken record, but the story of this game really was the fragging ability was squarely in the court of v56. I felt like we saw some of the right thinking, you know, the right types of coordination, the types of strategies coming from Running Pack, but they just weren't able to step it up when it came to fragging.
No, I completely agree. But I really did like the very aggressive plays from v56. It was almost kind of reminiscent of watching 6-6 in certain situations where they managed to just like push straight in and basically spawn camp their opponents. And it was interesting to see because I wasn't expecting it. I'll be honest. I just wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting something to be so dominant.